Hey y'all, give me a second. Oh, give me just a second. I kind of got turned around. How y'all doing tonight? Happy Sunday, happy Sunday. What's up, Lindsay? Welcome. Hey, happy Sunday, happy Sunday. You're listening to WXNALP Nashville 101.5 FM. Hey, it's Dear Jelly with DJ Jelly. I'm so excited that you are here. How's everybody doing? Today's weather was kind of kooky. It was like cold, and then it got warm. I hope wherever you are feeling loved and warm and valued. So, what are we talking about today? Today we're talking about romance. Somebody DM'd. Yeah, I know I appreciate everybody that DMs and asks their questions and wants to talk about different things. I appreciate that you all know this is a safe place and that you can ask whatever questions you want to ask and we'll talk about it. So today we are talking about romance, and basically what she said was, hey Nora, basically what she said was that she feels like romance is dead. Romance is dead. And she wanted to get our take on whether or not we feel that romance, we as in all you wonderful Dear Jelly listeners and participants, if we feel like romance is dead. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Like, is romance dead? And if it is dead, then how did it die? And more importantly, what was it? What is romance to you? What is romance to you? Because I don't think it's dead. But, I mean, maybe my idea of romance is different. So you know how it is. It's time for Dear Jelly. We're going to have a conversation. There's no judgment. We just talk about what we think, what we feel, whether or not we agree. We're all friends here. That's what we're going to talk about today. What is romance? What is your idea of romance? How do you show it? Do you just concentrate on the love languages? Because if you do, are you just concentrating on yours, the prominent ones? What is romance, y'all? Is it dead? Is it alive? That is basically what was sent to me. Jelly, is romance dead? Y'all know how I am. I want to give my comments during the conversation. So let me know what you think. Oh, as always, if you are tuning in on live chat on TGI Jelly on Facebook or TGI Jelly on YouTube, we appreciate you. And if you want to hear the music, we do. You want to hear the music? We do. Go. Please tune into WXNAFM.org and check out the music there. Jam. If there is a specific song you want to hear, let me know. Shoot it in the chat, shoot me a DM, or give us a call, and I'll be sure to get that on for you. All right, guys. So, what is romance to you? Is romance dead? Let's talk about it. You're listening to Dear Jelly on the X. What's up, y'all? How you doing? Hey, Nora. Hey, Lindsay. Lindsay, first time listener. Shout out to you. Hey, Tia. Hey, the rest of y'all. I see you. I appreciate you being here. So, I would start to show off with one of the songs that I go squirrel on. Sorry, if you're new here, squirrel as in certain songs be my jams. Shout out to the Bradys. I know they're always on YouTube. Shout out Brady's. Shout out to the Bradys. Oh, and then also, who else is always on? Give me a second. I see y'all. I'm about to say hi. Shout out to Lou and Joyce. And so if you want to hear the music, go ahead and tune in on the website. I don't let it play in the studio because Facebook is a hater. And they always turn the Facebook always turns off, cuts off the feed. Beginning to fall in love. Hey. Would y'all consider yourselves romantic? Oh. Happy Sunday, y'all. Sorry, I'm checking the chats. Y'all know I love y'all. You make Sundays wonderful. You're tuned into WXNA LP Nashville 101.5 FM. Tracking back, that was Joy Boy with Beginning. Joy Boy with Beginning. Beginning from the beginning single of the 2019 release. And if you're just tuning in, hey, happy Sunday, happy Sunday. I'm so glad that you're here. It's a great day. Why is it a great day? Because I get to jam and have a conversation with all the wonderful YOUs. And so shout out to people in the live chat on TGI Jelly on YouTube as well as TGI Jelly on Facebook. Couldn't do this without you. Wouldn't want to do without you. If you're just tuning in, the conversation we're on is on romance. Got a DM asking me, Jelly, do you think romance is dead? Is romance a thing? What did she say? If it is a thing, if it's dead, what happened to it? And what's your idea of romance? So that's the conversation we're having today. What is your idea of romance? Is it dead? Is it just a love language type thing? Like, what are y'all thoughts on romance? Nora says, I see men being romantic with other women, but I've not encountered a man who is romantic with me yet. Nora continues with, I like flowers, telling me how much you love me, acts of service, encouraging me, making time for me, courting me, opening doors for me, investing in me. Okay, Nora. So then how do you, are you also romantic in terms of, Nora, like how do you show romance? Like how do you, and I'm trying to think, how do I ask this question? How do you convey to another person how you perceive romance? Tia says, no, romance is still alive. Okay, Tia, let's talk about it. Nora says, romance is listening to what I said, I liked, and then cooking that for me. Okay. Or seeing that I need something done and doing it. It could be reading poetry or singing me a song. I don't think that romance is dead at all. I see men who really treat their women well, praying that I'll be blessed with a man who romances me. So how do you romance other people? Who is this? Lindsay says, I think romance is on life support. Okay, Lindsay, romance is on life support. I think that I know that when I've been talking to different people, they kind of feel the same way. That like, what happened to it? The same thing with this young lady who DM'd me. She says it's dead. She feels like it's dead and wants to know what happened to it. She honestly feels like it's dead. And so it sounds like Lindsay is saying it's not dead. It's just on life support. So how do we resuscitate romance? Keena, hey, Keena. Keena says, hey there. Romance to me is seeing me. Ooh, break that down a little bit because that might be a little too deep for some of us. Observing how I move and act accordingly, taking obstacles out of my way to make my day go better, i.e., knowing my Starbucks order and having it ready for me to start my day. It's really little things. Okay. Lindsay says, human decency can be mistaken for affection. Ooh, that's a good thing too. So, if we're, sorry, I was checking to see what ads I need to read. If we're talking about romance and whether or not romance is dead. And I can see how some people can mistake romance or human decency or just being kind to someone as being affectionate. And that's not. I like how I detail everybody is being. How do you show romance then? How are y'all showing romance? And while we're thinking about that, I do want to share with you about the Junior Roller Derby. Nashville Junior Roller Derby is a nonprofit, gender-inclusive youth sports organization that is passionate and about empowering youth through the sport of roller derby. Their goal is to nurture self-confidence and individuality within a culture of teamwork, dedication to community, and supportive inclusivity. More information at NashvilleJRD.com. All right, y'all. So how are we? Human decency can be mistaken for affection, especially because, I mean, people don't really care the way they used to. So my question is, which I may have asked before, like, how do you show? And then how are we conveying to the other person? Because some people might just think, hey, romance is just dim lights. Romance is not all roads leading to nocturnal activities. You know, I'm just saying. That's not romance. Romance is not always sexual. So let's talk about it. What like define it. I love the examples that we've been giving. And so I also want to know, how do you give it? And then how do you, while we're vetting people, while we're meeting people, how are you conveying to somebody else, like, hey, this is how I perceive, because he or she may be doing their best to show you that they care. However, you may miss it because they're not speaking in a language that you understand in terms of to show that this is romance, right? That's what I want to talk about. That's what we're talking about today. Give me a call, 615-933-9962 if you want to talk about it. And then also, if you have dedication, let me know. Otherwise, that's what we're talking about today on Dear Jelly. And so romance, is it on life support? Is it alive and well? Is it that we're just missing it? Let's talk about it. You're listening to Dear Jelly on the X. Appreciate y'all. Noah, thank you for the share. Oh, and I saw that, was it red you had on? Super cute. I said, look at Nora. Take over. Because if it's alive and well, why are there so many people who, you know, feel like they have to look somewhere else because they're not being fulfilled? She's too proud. Hey, she knows. This is my jam. Hey. Okay, Nora, that's a good question. I don't know that I've ever had the opportunity to be romantic. I'm not sure how I display romance. Oh, and this is something we have to think about, right? Because we talk about what we want and what we envision someone else doing for us, but how are we, you know, we have to be able to reciprocate. You have to be able to give what you want, right? Kina, how you been? I've been seeing you in a while. I like your picture. You look cute. I don't think there's a blanket checklist. I agree with Kina. Attention to the things that matter to me and feeling as though I'm being seen. But in the beginning, what's up, Brady's? In the beginning, how do we convey this? Right? This is a jam. Look at me, just 10 seconds. Facebook is a hater, so you know I can't play it in the studio while I'm live streaming on Facebook. So some people rely just on those love languages, their dominant ones. Oh, hey. Some people just concentrate on those. Is this something that we're doing when we're vetting people in the beginning? Like, how do you show romance? Because they may literally be giving like their best, and to you, you might be like, mm-mm. How do we convey that? Kina, I show romance the way I receive it. I pay attention to my man and move in a way that he is comfortable being vulnerable to me, to be his best and worst self. But do you lead? Like, are we expecting the other person to lead with the romance, or do you lead with romance to show how you like to be romanced? Hey, that was a jam. You're listening to WXNA LP Nashville 101.5 FM. Tracking back, that was Harry's song with She Knows, featuring Fireboy, DML, and Olamide off of the She Knows 2021 release. And if you're just tuning in, hey, happy Sunday, happy Sunday. It's time for Dear Jelly, and you're jamming out with DJ Jelly. And we're talking about romance. Is romance dead? Is romance on life support? Is romance something of the past? Is romance something that you bring up when first getting to know somebody to make sure that when you're vetting them, that they speak your language, and not just the love languages, but that they move in a way that speaks love to you? I just asked a question off the air. Do you expect the other person to pursue you and show whether or not romantic, or are you leading with the romance to show them how you expect to be romanced? Nora says that's a good question. I don't know that I've ever had the opportunity to be romantic. I'm not sure how I display romance. And that's really good. That's really good that you that you're aware, because that's where it starts. Like we can imagine what we want, but we also have to be what we want, right? At least that's what I think. Hey, Bethany, thanks for joining the conversation. Tia says, I don't think there's a blanket checklist. I agree with Kina. Attention to the things that matter to me and feeling as though I'm being seen. Yes, definitely. Nora says, thank you. I think she's talking to Tia. Kina says, I show romance the way I receive it. I pay attention to my man and move in a way that he is comfortable being vulnerable to me, to be his best and worst self. Romance is intentional. Oh, I love the word intentional, right? Romance is intentional and relatable to the couple. Romance is not a Hollywood set design or a Hallmark movie. Kina, now don't be talking about my Hallmark movies. If y'all know me, I love a good Hallmark movie. I'm a major Hallmark fan. I love all the chick flicks. I am here for all the romance and I'm here for it, okay? I'm here for it. I'm talking about the Hallmark. It can be a Hallmark, your own kind of Hallmark. It might be a little bootleg looking Hallmark because, there's no production, but it can be. Tia says, on a bad day, a good hug is romantic. Talk to me. Yes, on a bad day, a good hug can be romantic. I am a snuggler, cuddler. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. But yes, sir. We're down for those hugs. Nora says it could be that people aren't communicating their needs and expectations in regards to romance. Then they feel as though they aren't being romanced. I believe that, which is why I think it's very important for us to be aware of not just how we're sharing romance. Hi, Shireya. Thanks for joining the conversation. Not just how we're showing romance, but also how we're communicating. You're teaching someone how to love you. Even in friendships, we teach people how do they respect us? How do they support us? You have to do the same thing when you are vetting said potential person, so that you don't waste time. Nora says, also, your parents are your first agents of socialization. Okay, let's take it to the upbringing. You learn about love from them. If you see your parents romance each other, it may be easier to explain what your standard is for romance, as well as how you can reciprocate. And I think that's a good point, even to the point of saying that can also teach you what you don't want, right? It can also teach you what you don't want. Tia says, I think people are just more self-centered nowadays. They want the other person to show action before they reciprocate. I can definitely see that. How do we change it? How do we bring back the love? Keita says, because we all can't own a bakery in a small town with a pet cat and good hair. Keita, you are not going to kill my Hallmark movie dreams. Ooh, I'm so ready for all these Christmas. Well, I think they're already on. I need to check. Yeah, I'm here for it, okay? I'm here for the magic. I'm here for the magic. I don't want the cat, but I do want the bakery in a small town, preferably with more minority representation, but I digress. Tia says, I think you have to be vulnerable enough to say, I'm so excited you called, or I'm enjoying getting to know you. That's a good point. Yeah, just that it doesn't even have to be anything extravagant. Just as simple as saying something like that, I think is really, really good. That's what's up. Keena says, are we good teachers? And are we good pupils? Why are you being so deep today? Let's think about that. Let's think about that. Are we good teachers? And are we good pupils? I guess in reference to, teaching and showing someone how we want to be loved. Being aware of what feels right, what feels good. I am here for this. Ooh. Sorry, I'm trying to find something that now I'm like feeling all lovey-dovey. What can I put on? Because that is definitely something I think that we should take a second to ponder on. Are we good people? Like, are you aware? Being aware is a major part. No, not that one. Yep, this one. All right, y'all. Yeah, are we aware? Let's make sure that we are aware. Nora says, I do like the emphasis on vulnerability. Being romantic is a huge exercise of vulnerability and risk. It is. It is. But it's worth it, right? It's worth it. It's definitely worth it so we can have our forever. Y'all know I ain't played this in a while. So here's Gayaki with Forever. You listen to Dear Jelly on the X. Love it, y'all. Appreciate the conversation. Oh, let me put this in. Hey. Y'all know this is my jam. Y'all know I got to turn it down because Facebook is a hater. They will cut y'all off. If you want to listen to the songs, go ahead and tune in to WXNA FM. Oh, WXNA. Hey, how are you doing? Yes, definitely. What song you want? Busting Out for Rosie's? Okay, I'll try to find it. Busting Out? Okay. Okay. I'll try to find it. All right, thank you. Hey y'all. What I miss? How's everybody's weekend been? Let me try to catch up to where were we? Man, I love this song. Keena hating on my small town bakery. Small town bakery. Not with a cat though. You know, I don't do cats. I think cats are gross. Uh, my apologies if you are a cat person. I'm just not for cats. Found it. You're listening to WXNALP Nashville 101.5 FM, live streaming on WXNAFM.org. Tracking back, that was Gayaki with Forever off the Seed 2021 release. Shout out to David. Shout out to David. He calls and listens in every week. We appreciate your support of not just my show, but several other shows. David, you are appreciated. I did find your song, and I will be playing that shortly. If you're just tuning in, hey, happy Sunday, happy Sunday. You're tuning into Dear Jelly with DJ Jelly. And we are talking about romance. Is it dead? Is it alive? How do you show it? How are we communicating that we need romance? How are we making sure that we're being what we want in terms of romance? I mean, I just don't know. But one thing I do know is George Clinton said it best: free your mind and your ass will follow. Here at WXNA, we're dedicated to setting your mind and your booty free. If you love our all-volunteer, community-sponsored radio station, free your mind by becoming a member or making a one-time donation. Go to WXNAFM.org. All right, so we're having a conversation with some pretty beautiful people on TGI Jelly on Facebook as well as TGI Jelly on YouTube. Shout out to everybody that supports not only the station but also my little show. Couldn't do this without you. Wouldn't want to do this without you. You definitely make the start of my week great. And so thank you so much for supporting Dear Jelly. Okay, where are we? Where are we in the conversation? Nora says, well, I'll go back to where we in. Keena said, are we good teachers and are we good pupils in terms of teaching somebody what we like, showing people how to love us, how to respect us? That's in relationships, that's in friendships, that's in family. Like, we have to be what we want, right? And we have to show people what we want. And Nora says, I do like the emphasis on vulnerability. Being romantic is a huge exercise of vulnerability and risk. Tia says, lots of nurturing acts can be perceived as romantic acts. Nurturing acts. Okay, Tia, can you elaborate on that? I like the way that sounds. It sounded very, very cozy, wholesome, nurturing acts. Keena says, or are we just assuming that they will figure it out? I think that's part of the problem. We just assume that people would know us and get to know us and figure out how to love us, how to respect us, how to move the way that moves us. And that's not fair. You know, it's not fair. So we shouldn't just assume. We should communicate in some form, especially, you know, if that's what you need to feel seen. Sorry, trying to check the DMs, making sure I'm not missing anybody. Nora says, but I think that's why people struggle with romance. They fear rejection. Someone has to trust you enough to be vulnerable and be romantic. True. And everybody has a different perception of what romance is, right? Nora says, I don't ever close enough. Wait, what? I don't ever get close enough to or intimate enough with a man to really be romantic. Are you sure though? Because a conversation can be romantic. You know what I'm saying? Holding hands can be romantic. A text message can be romantic. This song came on and it just made me think of you. That's romantic. She said, I don't encounter men who really want to get to know me or take time to learn me. I understand. We live in a quick, warm, rewind. Nora says, I don't ever get close enough or intimate enough with a man to really be romantic. I don't encounter men who really want to get to know me or take time to learn me. We live in a quick wham bam hookup culture. Romance takes thought, time, and investment, which is why many believe that romance is dead. Okay. Lindsay says, way back when romance was staying together for the kids. Maybe our parents, grandparents didn't know what romance was and thought love, paying bills, two-parent household was enough. That's true because it wasn't. And staying together for the kids, that was not romance. That was codependency. I'm just saying. Lindsay said, I do cats. Lindsay said, I do cats. Well, friend, shout out to you and your cats. I don't do cats. Hey, Jasmine, what's up? And so, yeah, it's just one of those things, y'all, that romance can be perceived in different ways. Some people think romance is taking out the trash. Some people think romance is just that you remember to pick up your own underwear and put it in a washing machine or wash it in the sink and you put it up over the shower to dry. I don't know. People have different perceptions of what romance is. So then the question again is like, how are you showing it? How are you teaching people what it is? Is it still alive or has it changed? Is it just perceived differently now? Because it's not these grand gestures. And as Keena already pointed out, it's typically not the mushy, schmooshy movies that I like to watch. But it can be in different ways, right? It can be. So how are we communicating? How are we showing? How are we going to be intentional about romance? What small ways say romance to you? Shout out to David. This song goes out to David. So this is a request that he had. And y'all, if you have a request, definitely let me know. Shout out to David. This song is for David. Shout out to you, David. It's Busting Out for Rosie. I haven't heard that one. Somebody's busting out for Rosie. Maybe that's how he's showing romance. Tommy, making sure you get the right. Yeah, Tommy Bowen. So here's Busting Out for Rosie. David's request. Listen to Dear Jelly on the X. Busting out for Rosie. Jasmine, how you doing? How's your Sunday? Lindsay, you were just talking about that whole, I think, was that last week's show, y'all? And Tia, why you making that face? Because of the busting out for Rosie? Tia, why you making that face? Because you know the song, Busting Out for Rosie? She sounds like she a stripper. Busting Out, I'm going to have to go listen to that later. Girl, I was like, Busting Out for Rosie? But that's his request. Busting Out for Rosie. Busting Out for Rosie. This is hilarious because Lindsay, we were just talking about this the other day. Because romance ain't the Cheesecake Factory based on a skit of a girl thinking she was too good to eat there. I mean, I'm telling you, when I saw that, I kept saying, this better be a skit. This better be a skit. But then the thing that was driving me crazy is how many people were thinking that we're in agreement. They even did a whole poll on what are places that you should not take a woman on a first date. Oh, where's that picture? It's a whole list of chain restaurants that they were saying that if you're interested in a woman, then don't take them there. I just think that's just crazy. How long is this song, Busting Out for Rosie? It's kind of long. Tia said, what David over here doing? I don't know. He's an older gentleman. He calls every week and he be requesting these old songs that I've never heard of. Hey, maybe this is how David shows romance. We don't know. He might be somewhere like requesting these songs and then dancing for somebody. Okay, Jasmine. So, I'm excited to see you on here, sis. So, the question today is romance dead? And if it's dead, what happened to it? And if it's not, we don't really hear about people being romantic. So she wanted to know, how are we showing romance? How do we see romance? Do I think romance is dead? And so then my questions were, well, how are you showing romance? How are you showing romance? Do you teach someone how you perceive romance by you being romantic? But then the crazy part is, like, what if somebody's being romantic and they perceive it as you being thirsty instead of romantic? Right? That's possible too. So how do you perceive romance? What is romance to you? Is romance dead, Jazzy J? Everybody else that is tuned in, I see you. I appreciate you. Feel free to join the conversation. Don't be shy. Some of y'all be like messaging me and telling me you listen to the show, and I really appreciate it. But feel free to come on in and say hi sometime. It's okay. We're safe. You're listening to WXNALP Nashville 101.5 FM, live streaming on WXNAFM.org. Tracking back that went out to David. Shout out to you, David. That was Tommy Bolin with Busting Out for Rosie off the Private Eyes 1976 release. I don't know if that's David. Today we're having a conversation. If you're just tuning in, we're having a conversation about romance. Is romance dead? What is romance now? What is romance to you? How do you show romance? How do you teach somebody how to, be romantic? Move the way that moves you. And so I don't know, David. That busting out for Rosie it's got me envisioning you out here dancing for somebody. Is that how you show romance, David? You get up and dance, busting it out for somebody named Rosie. Shout out to all the Rosies out there. David loves you. So we're just having a conversation. Y'all, no judgment. We're having a conversation about romance. And the only thing that really I do judgment on is cats, because I don't do cats. Shout out to Lindsay. Lindsay says she does cats. But that's okay, Lindsay. We still love you. We don't judge you. I'm pretty sure there's some other cat lovers who join into the show. Tia says the way that she shows romance is through cooking dinner. Things as simple as a coat, a blanket, hoodie when you're cold, running you a bath when you're tired. Okay. Buying your favorite treat, a song dedication, a love note. Do people write love notes anymore? Y'all, I would love to write love notes to people, or even just, friends. I have such terrible handwriting. I just don't know if they would convey the true feeling of the true sentiment when they look at my chicken scratch. Lindsay says, apparently romance ain't the Cheesecake Factory, based off of a skit of a girl thinking she was too good to eat there. We saw that skit. It was hilarious. We talked about it. If not last Sunday, I think it was like before that. But yeah, a lot of people say that romance is taking somebody somewhere cha-cha, upscale, even on the first date, which I think is bananas. But if that's where you are, and that's where you are, no judgment. T is going to check out the busting out the Rosie later. So yes, and David, if you're still listening in, Tia says, what's David got going on over there? What's David doing over there? What's David over there doing? With a bunch of, shout out to David, busting out the Rosie. Lindsay says, so basically women can be bought with a plate of food. Well, I feel like women and men could be bought with a plate of food, honestly. I don't know. Sometimes the chili hits just right. Just kidding. Just kidding. I mean, it's possible. It's possible. Hey, VL, how you doing? And it's possible. It's definitely possible. And so shout out to VL. Hey. And so longtime listener, great friend. So we want to know, I mean, sometimes food can be romance. Food can be romance. Somebody cooking for you, that can be romantic. Somebody feeding you. Some people that might be fetishy to them. Someone else that can be romantic, right? That can be romantic. Good. Glad you're doing well. I mean, it's just a whole thing. Like, it can be so many different things. So how do you see romance? How do you perceive romance? What speaks romance to you what speaks romance to you and will also translate as romance to somebody else and not seem thirsty? Because I think we also get that mixed up sometimes. We feel like somebody's thirsty and really they're just kind of romantic. I don't know. I want to share with you guys about the Elephant Sanctuary. The Elephant Sanctuary in Tennessee is a nonprofit organization providing home and herd to captive elephants retired from performance and exhibition. As a true sanctuary, the elephants' habitats are closed to the public, but the Elephant Discovery Center in Hohenwald offers interactive exhibits and programming exploring the many ways elephants shape our world. More information and live streaming videos at elephants.com. Tia says, get it, David. So, David, if you were out there dancing, Tia is giving a shout out to you. Keena says, then that joker ain't for you. Move on to the next. If they're not speaking your language, right? Move on. It looks like Nora's dancing. Tia says, I think you miss out on opportunities to connect when you only accept extremes for romantic acts. But then someone might argue that like this is the standard that I have. Like some of us have been with what may be considered basic people for so long that we might be like, you know what? I've been with the basic, people. Now I want, my standards are higher. I deserve, more grand gestures of romance. And sometimes those gestures are not even like romance. It might just be a flex, right? I don't know. They might be thirsty. I don't know. We're just having a conversation. Jasmine says, I don't think romance is dead. Romance can look so many different ways depending on the situation. I saw today a man planned an in-home date and it looked very romantic. He had on sweats and she had on a t-shirt and biker shorts. They were very romantic to each other and they ate microwave popcorn. Was this a movie, Jasmine, or this people you saw? I'm just, it sounds romantic. Was it you talking about you, Jasmine? Is that you wearing t-shirts and biker shorts eating popcorn? It sounds romantic. It's just taking time. Sometimes being romantic can just be quality time. But then I think that sometimes we get to a certain age, we feel like someone is supposed to do this large gesture. And then if they don't do these large gestures, then it's like, oh, he's not romantic or she's not romantic or they're not putting in the thought. But I think it was Lindsay who shared earlier. Where was it? Was that Lindsay? Yeah, it was Lindsay. What she said way back when romance was staying together for the kids. Maybe our parents and grandparents didn't know what romance was and thought love, paying bills, two-parent household was enough. But I think that they had to be romantic at some point to get to that point. And then I feel like life just started lifing. Jasmine says she just had a baby. I saw them on Instagram or TikTok. Oh, okay. Jasmine, they was doing that for the gram. I'm just kidding. They might not have been doing it for the gram, but it is romantic. It is romantic. I mean, long distance relationships. I mean, the calling, the texting, I've seen where people have done long distance relationship and they gone on video dates. It's like the same restaurant and they're eating together on video, That's romantic. I had a video date once, but it was not romantic. I think he thought it was, though, but it wasn't. I digress. Sorry, that triggered that memory. Tia says, what does Aisha get Steph? Who's Aisha? Oh, who? What does Aisha get Steph or B give Jay? They got to figure out things that are beyond monetary value. I mean, I don't know. They talking about Beyonce get $5 million per child and all this. Every 5 years, she gets a couple $1 million. I don't know. Oh, Steph Curry. I feel like they're romantic. They seem romantic, at least when they post and talk about stuff. I don't know what they get each other. They seem very romantic. Or at least they have that friendship. You know, it's like they have a good friendship. That's a good question. That's a good question. I don't know what they would give each other. And so are there levels of romance that might be a little too extreme for a first date? Like, you know, we've already talked about the women who are like, don't take me to these, you know, franchises on a first date because that's not romantic or that doesn't really show that you care, or that's not up to my standards. But what about, are there levels, like, are there certain gestures that you might think would be a red flag for you or put you off as being too much in the very beginning? Like if he or she they show up with roses and chocolate and t-shirts, matching t-shirts, and I don't know, are you gonna do a picnic, indoor picnic with popcorn on a first date? I don't know. I don't know that we would. So yeah, let me know what y'all think about that. Let me know what y'all think about that. What in the world? Here, you know, how do you feel about said thing? Here's Feel by Davido. Listen, Dear Jelly on the X. Hello.
Hi, I'm Becca. I'm filling in for Juan tonight.
You're Becca?
Yeah.
I think I've seen you before, haven't I?
I don't think so.
How long you been at radio?
Not long. I just finished my training like last
Then
month.
I've never seen you.
Yeah. Oh,
well, welcome to the station.
Thank you.
You know how everything. Oh, so how long have you been?
This is my third show filling in, so I think I got the ropes.
Okay, so you haven't done your show yet.
No, I don't have a show yet.
What is your show going to be?
I want to do goth music.
Well, welcome.
Thank you.
You say your name is Becky?
Becca.
Yeah. Hey guys, we got a brand new DJ in the house. Her name is DJ Becca. She's filling in for DJ Juan. Are you still doing the international type beats? You gonna do your own thing?
International.
She's gonna be doing international beats. They're saying hi, Becca. Sorry, I live stream.
Oh yeah, that's amazing. Hello.
So YouTube and Instagram are saying hello, Becca. YouTube and Facebook are saying hi, Becca. And so yeah, Becca's getting a new show. She's gonna be doing goth music. So if there's anybody who's they're saying welcome. If there's anybody that's into goth. Oh, okay,
a little more emo than that.
Oh, okay, Becca. You're getting a hey girl, hey.
Yes.
That is funny. Yeah, I know nothing about goth. Are you playing from a record? Or are you gonna do Spotify? Or are you gonna?
I'm doing Spotify.
Okay, so I'll log out shortly and
Sounds good.
You can come in and say hi to the people if you want to. You're welcome to.
Hello.
There's Becca. That's Becca. She's one of our newest DJs in the radio station. Woo! Shout out to you, Becca. Oh, somebody said heavy metal. Yeah, she's gonna be doing heavy metal. That is funny. Not funny, haha, but like, okay, girl. Well, I'm not gonna do you like I do Juan. I'm like, oh, you're getting more hellos. I'm not gonna do you like I do Juan. Juan normally cops on and answers my question for the day.
Ooh.
I'm not gonna do that to you. Don't worry.
Romance is not dead, I would say.
You're listening to WXNA LP Nashville 101.5 FM, live streaming on WXNAFM.org. And tracking back, that was Davido with Feel off the Timeless 2023 release. And I'm so excited because we have a new DJ in the house tonight. She's going to be subbing for DJ Juan with the International Echo. And her name is DJ Becca. And I'm sure you're going to love her. If you are into goth, of course, the new schedule hasn't come out yet. You know, we don't know where she's going to be. But Becca has already been on the air. And she's going to be doing some goth music. We got a question for you, Becca. Mm-hmm. Someone says, do you consider Joy Division goth?
Oh, classic.
She said classic.
goth or
And then
dead.
she also says that romance is not dead.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I think people are just scared of rejection.
She said people are just scared of rejection. It is not dead. Shout out to you, Becca. So look, new DJ already hopping in the conversation, not just in the conversation, but also apparently she's down with the classic goth, and there's already people on the live stream who already are, I guess, down with the classic goth.
Yeah.
You just never know. So I'm so excited. You guys, show us some love. If you are listening on the radio, please stay tuned in. Don't turn that dial. Once I hop off, stay on and vibe. Well, do you vibe out to go? I mean, well, she's going to be playing international songs in place of DJ Juan today. And so vibe out with Becca with some international stuff tonight from 8 to 9. Vibe out with her, support her. If you're part of the live stream, log online, wxnafm.org, and check her out. Check out her tunes, check out her feels, check out her voice. We definitely welcome you, Becca. We're excited that you're here. And welcome to the family. I'm excited. Everybody else that is here, shout out to you. Thank you all so much for being here. Thank you for supporting me, supporting the show. Couldn't do this without you. Wouldn't want to do this without you because it just wouldn't be as great. I hope you guys have a wonderful week. I'm going to go ahead and step aside so Becca can go ahead and get set up. And so I hope to see you guys same time, same place next week. Know that you matter. You've always mattered. Have a wonderful week. And love y'all. See you soon. All right, y'all. Have a great one. Bye.